Welcome back to the channel of Truth, Trust and Transparency. Today we're jumping back into deal reviews. I've got a comment on YouTube, someone looking at villa/unit style deals in one particular suburb, sent through two. So I thought, why not kill two birds with one stone? Today's video, see if we can cover both, a little bit around the area. I think it's been asked in the comment section before, little bit around the asset type. So without further ado, I will let's jump into this one. Down to Victoria again, but a different suburb we haven't looked in previously. Okay, so today we are looking at the suburb of ARARAT, which is just sort of northwest of Ballarat in Victoria. A couple of people have asked about it. Let's click in and have a look at the price starter. Typical price, 400K, 397,000. In the past year, it has actually dropped 1.6%. In the past 3 years, it has went negative 3.2% in growth. In the past 5 years, it has went up 46.5%. In the past 10 years, it's went up 84%. So 8.4% average over the last 10 years. Not a lot of growth in the front half, but let's dig in and a little bit deeper, see what we find. One thing that immediately comes to mind, difference between 3 and 4 bedrooms is 150 grand. Difference between 2 and 3 bedrooms is about 80 grand. No bushfire flood risk. Decent sized population and dwellings. If we look at the growth rate cycle, look, mixed bag here. We can see why it had a really good run through COVID, 20-25% is just dropping off the back there. But let's see if there's a different story in a little bit more of the fundamentals. To Ursad, so one of the lower socioeconomic areas, 26 rented to owner ratio. That's actually not too bad. There's been plenty of reviews, and as you guys will start to sit with me and watch more of these, you will start to get an understanding on what these rented to owner ratios look like in comparison to the Ursad. So hopefully if you've watched a few of these, or if you haven't, go back and watch them, you're going to start to pick up what becomes normal or what becomes something we should look at and what isn't. So I think 26% of the 2 Ursad is fair enough. We have 167 annual sales volume, which is a great amount of data. You know, we're looking at over 10 sales a month at that rate. And 3 bedrooms, the most popular, split between 3 and 4 bedrooms. What is really promising about this area as well is we're sitting at 23 years to own for affordability. So it is quite affordable. Stock on market, 1.3 months. If we look at these rest of these data, what are we telling? Over the last 12 months, days on market have definitely come down below the average. Stock on market, short term, is starting to decrease, increasing last month. So have had a increase the last sort of 2 months there. So would love to see what next month brings up. That data as well is that's the 9th. Inventory is averaging out. Vacancy rates have been pretty bang on here. You're looking about a 10 vacancies for like the last 12 months, which is cool. So pretty balanced there. Days on market decreasing, stock on market decreasing, extremely affordable. I don't hate what I'm seeing there for the property data. Now, let's look at the assets first and foremost. So the first one, and just to give you guys a little bit of context, so we have Ballarat and Sebastopol and all that kind of stuff. So Melbourne, we head northwest, we go to Melton, we head northwest again, we go to Ballarat, we head northwest again, we got Ararat. I hope I'm saying that right. People will tell me if I'm not. Main city, you could see quite a build-up density here. So we're also in the western part of the suburb for this particular unit. This one's really interesting. General neighborhood zone and area there. Nothing too alarming just from the air. If I look at this from a ground perspective, this is a unit that's at the back or behind another unit. So it's this block here. So as you can see, there's 2 units on the block. And the unit is the back one. We have a couple of houses and normal sort of suburban street. Not a lot that we can tell from Google Maps, but, you know, I get a vibe. Quiet street, cul-de-sac. Another key sign as well, my neighbouring properties are very well maintained, and this was in 2023. Any other stories on any of the other dates? Car park probably there. Oh, there you go, from the trees cut down. So not too much on that particular one. I might go asset by asset. I don't know how I'm going to do this one, but a little bit different to review. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll show you guys the other one. So that's where this one's located. Now, if I had to, I'm going to make a decision and pick one of these. The other one is located northwest of town, off Western Highway. Now, I don't like this location already because the highway out of a town is necessarily going to be busy, as we can see. And this is the... dropped me on the wrong side of the road. Sneaky. There it is there. There it is just in there. So, unfortunately, still going to be a little bit of road noise and just not an ideal location off a main road. What can I see from the air? Looks like houses, but as you can see, Western Highway, not great to be on this sort of main road. Okay, so Kimbara Court, Ararat, Victoria, 2-bed, 1-bath, 2-car. Now, what's interesting about this one is that it is technically a unit, but it is on 628 square meters. So technically, you know, you're getting that land ratio that you don't often see with units. So I quite like that. It's a auction, indicative buy guide 340 to 360. They think about 330 to 340 in rent. That would almost be a 5% rental yield. So, great rental yield. Let's have a look at the asset itself. Some new gardening, brick, construction, carport, and also hard stand area, which is cool. That's it there. So, we're looking up the driveway. So, I can obviously come and park in front, or I can park there, which is cool. Again, I like the unit to land ratio of this one. Unit itself, just, you know, 80s, 90s construction by the looks of it. Plenty of backyard space. It all looks quite well maintained. Geez, check this out. Air conditioner, and heater. Love the exposed timber through there too. We'll need to put the smoke alarm back on. Cool, tidy. Bath is always good. Laundry, cool. So this is a particular asset that is ready to rent out straight away, or you could also, you know, do a slight cosmetic renovation to this. No problems at all. I mean, I don't mind that. For that price, that looks okay. Let's look at the other one. Okay, also, I think that's the same agent, 285 price guide. Now, this is rented at 320 a week. It's also a 211. It's had some sort of fresh reno. Carport. Remember, you got a neighbour each side here. Very similar inside in construction. Yeah, nice fridge. Lol. Tell me it's a Photoshop fridge without telling me. So bad. Oh, I got the fake furniture and I hate the stage furniture photos. Okay, so you got a dining room on one side, kitchen, stool, and living on the other. Good access. Not bad, exposed brick. Bedroom one. Bathroom, exposed brick in the bathroom and skylight. Tidy asset. bedroom 2, backyard, courtyard. So to me already, and as you can see here, like if I go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe there's 14 in there. To me already, a quarter of the size of the land for this one. Carport. So again, if you can buy it for $285, it's obviously got a high yield. If it's rented at $320, it makes me think the other block would rent a little bit more if this something like this, someone is paying on market, new lease until May 2025, $320 a week. It makes me think the other one I can get probably a lot more for that. One thing that I did pick up was there is this sort of bushfire prone overlay. You will need to investigate a little bit further for this one. Again, no real other overlays too much just yet. Easements, ABS, that sort of stuff. When I look at, and that's for the highway one, I look at this second one, it's also got that sort of bushfire prone area overlay. So I just want to investigate what that is. But here, now I will admit, I'm not an expert at Victorian planning, but it seems that these two own plot of land and then some sort of shared land. I'd be interesting to see what title the unit is, right? Because, for example, if it's strata titled, it's worth less. If it's Torrens titled, it's also worth more. And look at the size of that land component. I mean, for scale, what are these houses near it? That's 770. They're 1,000. So someone's just got creative with probably that block, I reckon. If I go back far enough, let's see. Oh, that's all we got, unfortunately. I was just seeing if we go back and up. Because I feel like that might have been a block and that's been split up. But anyway, that's really interesting. Really good land to asset ratio in this unit. Now, I want to just bring up the map. Right, if I want to buy a house in Ararat, let's see what's available. Because there's quite a bit of stock. Especially, what's happening out here? Okay, new blocks of land. But let's sort of like chop it off into this portion here. See what's for sale. So 380. 500. 480. I'm not going to look at main roads, but what are things selling for? 490. 640. Okay, there's not too much on, and these are probably just, house and land packages. Okay. So I want to see actually what is sold in the last 12 months. I've already started having a look at a couple of these. So 420 is just down the road. You know, that really good looking house. Next up, 540. I don't want to look at main roads. 375, August 2025. So not too long ago. My question to you as well is like, and this is a perfect example of a great listing because the agent's taken photos themselves on the cell phone. You have an opportunity because that turns a lot of people away. My question to you, if you're for the person that asked the question, I don't think I have a proper username, but could you be better off, extending the budget? 370, like we're talking a very similar budget. Could you not just get a house? Like what are you getting for a unit that you can't get in a house in this suburb? It's incredibly affordable, 445, 380, 350, September 2025. It's an outdoor table. What's that doing in the kitchen? Similar style, not bad. Just needs a paint and to fix some floors. Bathroom's new. Bit going on out the back, but I mean, for 350, why would you go down a sort of asset stock class if for an extra 10 grand, 15 grand, there's these sorts of deals. To me, like 315 grand, 315, this should be corner block. Look at this, asking for subdivision. Already got the driveway crossing there. STCA, guys, as well. I don't know if you can put it in there because I'm not a Victorian development dude, but it just needs a new fence, you know? That's not bad. 315, it's pretty cheap. So currently on 360 bucks rent. So look, if I'm going to summarize this is what I'd say for this particular person. One is the one that you're looking at on the main road. This one. I'd probably, would I buy this? No. Why? Small land component on busy road on the outskirts of town. So already you've got a lot of things working against you that no matter how much money you throw at them, you can't change in that property. The other unit that you're looking at has a great land component, 600 square meters there. So it looks like a great deal. But when I look at houses in the area, the houses are selling for the same price. So I think, look, the area, what's working for it? It's affordable. We've got some short-term data points that are pointing us in the right direction, which is really, really cool. Obviously, it's a lower ERSAT, but it's going to be at that price point. And there's some things in the data where it doesn't look absolutely terrible. And it's affordable. There's other suburbs where we look at in these deal reviews where it's very similar price point and it's 40 years to own. But here, it tells me that this has got some steam in the market. I want to dig into it a bit further. I think you've got the location right. Again, I don't know what the plan is for the purchase and the hold of the property, but I think you have the asset type wrong. I don't see, in my head, a good trade-off to be going down to units. And if you say budget, I think there is opportunities there, and I'm just looking at sold prices. You know? Just looking at sold prices. Let's look at all types. Map area. I'm just thinking, okay, there's a couple of expensive ones. 310er. 290. What do you mean? I would, look at this. Okay, it was a year ago, but still, 290. Come on. Better wallpaper to get rid of. I can give you a tutorial on that. 20 grand cosmetic reno. We're laughing. I think I'd definitely be looking at houses in this suburb. Low entry price. Yeah, that's my summary of these type of deals. You've got a cool suburb. Data doesn't look terrible. If you are trying to if you think you're going to find a suburb that you can buy in for 300 grand and it's going to have a 10 ERSAD, you're delusional. You're obviously going to have a low ERSAD. You know, it is extremely affordable. 3 bedrooms. We've got some very short-term indicators. Inventory flattening out. I think this one's ready to go. I will just transition my observation and looking from probably from a unit to a house on a block of land. Although it's not different, you know, you're obviously paying less for that example that you sent through that we looked at because you're at the back of like that battle axe block where there's houses on the street selling for a very similar amount that they want to this. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Questions, opinions, let me know. And questions, thoughts, feelings, emotions, let me know. And as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow.